Welcome, ladies, to a special private IKS meetup where today you're going to get to meet your next IKS ambassador in just a few minutes, where her and I are going to hook up on a private Zoom. So let's talk ambassadors. For those of you who are new to the group, you may or may not know, but I have an ambassadorship program. You can learn more about it and what it's all required and what kind of perks you get on the main website at ikicksugar.com. On the top menu bar, under the About section, just click down and you'll see ambassadorship. Now, I'm always looking in the group in search of our next ambassador. And as I mentioned on the website, these are women who have completed the course, declared their sugar freedom, and are active daily in the group, supporting, commenting, encouraging others. It is so crucial that you first work the course, have a clear, strong grip on the material and the philosophy, and then you lead by example. Now, it's not about perfection, but it is about progress, and it's about declaring your sugar freedom. It's about understanding that language is key and habits are key to your healthy, happy life. Bottom line, any ambassador is an extension of me and the IKS brand, so I have to be very mindful of who I vet in. Now, the woman who you're going to meet in a few minutes is someone who goes above and beyond helping in this group. I couldn't ask for a more generous, dedicated, caring, and committed woman. She has been a constant in our community. I mean, a die-hard tribe member and cheerleader. I don't think there is any one post that if you looked in the group where you wouldn't have seen her commenting on it. She is so committed to making everyone feel welcome and heard. And with that said, I am so excited to announce the next woman who's being honored today and going to be your next official IKS ambassador to join the IKS team, helping alongside Dawn, Tammy, Amy, and Melissa. So without any further ado, I want to introduce you to your next IKS tribe member, Lynn Marquess. Yay, Lynn.
Hi, Joyce.
Lynn. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. Say hi to everybody out there in Zoom land.
Hi, everyone.
Yay, Lynn. Thank you. So good to see you. So, Lynn, in the mail this week, you received some special packages from the IKS headquarters, AKA my home. And we've arranged a special person, your husband, Bill, who's going to be presenting you here in a second. Come on out, Bill, with your big check. So without further ado, let's move to the second half. Oh my goodness, look at you, Mr. Handsome. Wow. Now, we have never gotten somebody to hand a check looking that handsome. Bill, you look amazing.
Thank you. Not bad for 80 years old.
Are you really 80? No.
He's not.
But don't eat sugar and you will look that way. Oh, look at that. Yay. I love it. Oh, Bill, wait, come back here. Let's ask you real quick. I know you want to go see Judge Judy in a second. You're watching your show in the other room. But we got to ask you, how proud are you of this lady?
Very proud.
Yeah. I mean, it's really exciting. And have you seen a difference in her since she's been off sugar? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Pretty
wonderful.
good.
Well, we thank you for your support in supporting her on this journey also. And you just look so handsome. We love it. Thank you. Our first ever tuxedo on the IKS Zoom call.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye. Bye,
Oh my
honey.
gosh.
Shut the door, babe.
Lynn, he is awesome.
Now I got confetti in my hair.
I love it.
Wasn't that great? That was the best.
He is precious. He's
yeah.
amazing. Wow.
He's been very supportive. Very supportive.
I know, and we're going to get into later a little bit. You'll kind of tell how he was kind of instrumental in you really having some awareness come into your life. So
Very much.
wow. So I'm so
Very
glad
much.
he handed you that check. So was that in fact the biggest check you ever got?
It was the biggest check ever. It was the best.
Awesome.
And thank you so much.
You are
Thank
so
you.
welcome. We're so excited to have you on the team. And I know you also you're wearing some of your swag now.
Yes,
too.
look at this.
Yay.
How cute is that?
Fantastic. Super sassy. What other hold ups for the other ladies to see some other swag you got?
Okay, look, this is so great. I love my hats. This is Sugar Socks.
Just like
I love
I'm
that.
wearing today. Awesome.
I mean, you went crazy. Look at this great jacket that says Sugar Socks on the back. It is so soft and comfy. And then some tanks that say I kick sugar and got health.
God help
On
We're gonna
it.
see you in that one when it gets a little warmer outside.
I
right?
know. And I have to say, I was never one to wear tanks because I was always embarrassed of my arms. And I'm not anymore because I love myself.
I love hearing that. I have heard so many women in this tribe say the same thing, that was always an issue for you with their arms, not only through losing weight, but getting to that same point too. They didn't even necessarily have to have dramatic weight loss yet. Just the fact that they're able to look at themselves. And the first process is saying, I love myself enough to get healthy. So that's fantastic. That right there is a transformation.
And then this is my cozy, comfy sweatshirt.
That was a little big. That was a little big.
No, but I love it. It's like, I love it's perfect for, at night cuddling up.
Right.
It's
like one of those snuggly blanket, covers that they put people wear now.
And I love this. You got your RX bars.
Yes.
And then the Ultima electrolytes in here. I can't wait to try this because I know a lot of people in the group talk about them. So I'm excited.
We love
and then of course I've started my tea and I love to drink my tea. So I got this awesome, it's kind of bright.
Yeah, it's hard to see that. There we
go.
I kick sugar.
I kick sugar. Can you see it?
For a coffee, but I see it. Yep.
Yeah, and perfect. And I got this beautiful bracelet that says brave on it. It is so cute, so cute.
Well, you are brave. You are brave.
And stickers and this beautiful letter. And I'm so grateful. I really am.
Well,
I feel honored
for you. I mean, when you purchased the course back like 9 months ago, I think it was back in June 8th. Did you ever think that you'd be getting a $250 check and then you'd be like getting this swag and being part of the team, helping other women kick sugar? Yeah.
No, I didn't. And I mean, I'm thrilled to be where I am now. And it's because of I Kick Sugar and you and the team, of course, that I am where I am. And I love this group so much and just the program and what it represents and how it's helped me. And I would have never thought, in the beginning, I didn't want to participate. I never thought I'd be here, never. But I am thrilled that I am and that you think so highly of me to,
I do,
make me the next IKS Ambassador. So I'm really thrilled to be helpful to everybody in our tribe.
You are so helpful. And I don't think sometimes I feel like I'm in a competition racing with you to get to these posts or comments. And I get there and I'm like, she's already been there. She's answered. She supported that person, that new tribe member coming in. So we're so grateful for having you. And that's the reason why I have, like I said earlier to the folks, why I've got this ambassador program is to vet in people that I know understand the course, who have worked the course, who studied the course inside and out, who are living, sleeping, breathing it so that they can support others. Because, I'm one person. I can't be on every post and comment. So it's
Yeah.
important that I've got women like you who are standing up, and being a brand ambassador for IKS and speaking out also. And I totally trust you and know your stuff. You know this material inside and out. I never would have thought, I never know who it's going to be, to think when you started and you originally joined, it took you about a month, I think, to even get in the group, but to say, okay, I want in. And then once you were in the group, you were one of those lurkers just sitting back and, not really commenting. And then, it took about a month for you to comment. And even your comments then were like, well, how do you do it? And, it seems so hard, or I'm just struggling, or I can't do it. I think about sugar all the time. And, you went from that voice in your head, that ego, to totally switching to empowering yourself with your language. And it's been such an amazing journey to watch you, and a privilege to be a part of your journey.
Thank you. I mean, this program, I just can't stress enough that this program works. And if you follow your direction, I mean, you have it laid out for us. And I mean, I know I was very negative in the beginning. And I think even one time I was like, oh, you scold me or something like that. And
tough love.
It was tough love. And then once I got into it, I realized, well, you can't have a group and be negative all the time.
Right.
So it's been a wonderful journey, and I can't wait to just keep going. And now as an ambassador, to just really help other women to get to where I am and beyond.
Right. Oh, it's so wonderful. I'm so excited.
Me too.
And you mentioned, you shared, let's talk a little bit about your story, your back end. You shared when I was reading, your story that you sent to me, that you were addicted to sugar prior to IKS. You used that language, addicted to sugar.
Right.
Now, many women, as you've seen also in the group now, when they join and they start the course, they don't really discover this until they dive into the course, that they're addicted. That's a lot of, aha moments that we have, that we see in the group, where all of a sudden someone says, wow, I didn't realize that sugar was so addictive, or I didn't understand how my body, reacted. Sugar is like a real addiction. And they have these moments where they finally have that awareness and realizing, wow, I've been using sugar, as a coping mechanism, and that it is a real addiction like any other addiction. So share with us a little bit, because you already have that insight coming into IKS. If you would, a little back end of your story about how you determined, prior to IKS, or who was it maybe that put that little, that little birdie that said something in your ear. I think we met him a few minutes ago. About how you were prior to IKS, addicted to sugar, and what, also share with us, what did your days, look like, both physically and mentally, before IKS, to where not only you started recognizing it, but the people around you are like, dang, look what she's eating,
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Tell us that.
It was pretty bad. I'll just start with, I definitely am no stranger to addiction. My son's father was addicted to alcohol and crack, and he was for years, up until he committed suicide when my son was 19 years old. And then I had a relationship with a boyfriend, thought everything was great. And then lo and behold, he ended up being a cocaine dealer. And I then got addicted to cocaine. And I have never in my life been in that situation. And I knew it was getting bad when I was, doing cocaine at work. And it was really bad. And I look back at pictures and I can see myself and think, wow, that doesn't even look like me.
Right. So unhealthy, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what kind of made that come to a head was one night I was in a hotel room by myself.
Okay.
And I had done all the cocaine that I had, and I woke up the next morning and I wanted to get more. Now it was like not even 9 o'clock in the morning. I think it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Hadn't turned on the TV or anything. And I called the ex and was like, hey, I want more stuff. And it took me a while to get through to him. And then when I finally did, he was like, you need to turn on the television. Planes are dropping out of the sky. And we hung up. And I just was like, what is going on? So I turned on the television, and that morning was 9/11.
Wow.
And I basically took a hard look and said, this has got to stop. This is not, here I am, all this devastation, and here I am alone in a hotel room. And so with the help of my roommate at the time, she said, Lynn, you got to go to a rehab. So I went to a rehab, but they felt like I only needed to stay like a night, which I never really understood that. But anyway, so she ended up calling my father, which was really embarrassing because my father and I at the time did not have a very good relationship.
Okay.
She called him, he came up, brought the trailer, packed all my stuff, and shipped me down with him, down like 4 hours away,
Wow.
leaving everything I knew. And it really, I tell you, that was it. And I feel like it was a very sad, devastating time, but I feel like it came around to the beginning of living for me.
Yes.
So I feel like it was kind of like my rebirth, kind of like, because after that, I never touched it again. I went cold turkey, didn't have any help, nothing.
Wow.
I never touched it again. But sugar is an addiction. Sugar is a drug to me. So I can say, oh, I never touched anything again, but actually I did. I touched sugar.
Right.
But and that, so that's kind of the background. And then over the last few years, I've had a lot of not wanting to look in the mirror, gained a lot of weight, eating nothing but sugar. Like we'd have now we all, we're finding out how much sugar is in processed food. When I say eating meals, that means processed foods. It's not eating whole plant-based foods.
Right.
So you have the sugar in that too, but this other is sugar on top of that.
Right.
So basically, I was just eating massive amounts of sugar a day. And so what I mean by that is if I was out and about and my husband wasn't with me, I would pull into McDonald's, I would get an ice cream cone. I would pull into the local, store and get a strawberry shortcake bar. I would get a honey bun. I would get many powdered sugar donuts. And then anything that I got, I would stop at the gas station and throw all the evidence into the trash can so that he wouldn't know. So, and of course I'm thinking, okay, he's not going to know. Sure. Okay. So then I was also taking and hiding candies, Starburst candies, honey buns, Reese cups, everything in my dresser drawers.
Wow.
And I would sneak into the bathroom at night and eat them. And if I thought he could hear the wrapper, I would hide it in a towel and like open it real slow. And then I'd keep looking out to make sure he wasn't coming in. But it was copious amounts of a half a gallon of ice cream a day.
Wow.
And if it wasn't in a day, it was in 2 days. And then I'd get more the second day. And I have some amounts for you here. So I would eat, just to say, I would have my Starbucks. I would wake up in the morning, and I would go get my Starbucks, which was a cinnamon dolce latte.
Oh boy.
And with that and a coffee cake was 82 grams of sugar.
Wow.
Okay. Then, like I'd eat my food, and then the ice cream alone was 153 grams of sugar per half gallon.
It's insane. Remind everyone, for the newbies on here, what is the recommended amount of added sugar that we should not exceed, that we learn in the course, also from the WHO recommendation, a day?
25 grams.
Right. 25
grams
of sugar,
okay.
added sugar a day that you shouldn't exceed. You know, if you doesn't mean you
Right.
have to meet it. It's
Right.
like,
It doesn't mean like you go to 25 grams and say, oh, you really should be under it.
right. And here
You
we
know,
are
that's your
talking,
max.
I mean, adding this up, I'm just adding this up in my head. It's like, it could have easily been like 300 grams plus a day that you were eating with just added sugar, if not more, which is,
and I would go, it's crazy.
yeah.
And I would go where I'd have like, one time I would crave maraschino cherries. Now this is a killer. If you all know the maraschino cherries in the jar, one cherry has 2 grams of sugar in it. There's 36 cherries in one of the big jars.
Oh my.
So I got it figured out that one jar has 72 grams of sugar.
Wow.
72.
Wow.
Now,
and how many would you eat in a day sometimes?
I would eat 4 to 5 jars a day. And
how
if
are you
I
still
ate,
alive?
I don't know. I was slowly killing myself.
Yeah.
But 5 jars is 360 grams of sugar.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And what is so sad that I hear, Lynn, is, you know, you're not like abnormal. Like this isn't some anomaly. We see this in the group with lots of women and they're eating. And I mean, you've never taken the time, you never even knew to look at the back of the jar. You know, you never knew how many grams of sugar. You never even just thought twice. You just thought, okay, you know that there's sugar in there, but never thought anything else or twice about it. When you start doing these calculations and seeing, it's like that alone just makes you step back and you can feel it. You know, I mean, you might have just been injecting right into your arm. Because that's what's happening right into the veins with that much sugar. Oh my God.
And then what happened was I was incorporating my poor husband to come along with me. Please go get me some Baskin Robbins ice cream, or please go get me a coffee. And this just was going on, and it was getting really bad. And then my husband one night says to me, and he had said a couple different things, and, you know, why can't you have any willpower? You know, why don't you use your willpower? You know, just don't eat it. I'm like, you don't understand. It doesn't work that way. Now, any kind of mention from him, I would gorge more, because I was like, you're not going to tell me what to do.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to, and it would make me upset. And even though I knew he was right, I would just eat more and more.
Yes.
And then one day he said to me, you're addicted. You got a problem.
So it was hearing that.
Yeah, that clicked, and hearing it from him, and then the kind of different mentions throughout. But it was when he said that, and I think I even in a nasty tone said to him, I know I do, and like walked away. But after I processed it, I was like, I have a problem and I need help.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so powerful to have that awareness, to make that acknowledgement, and then to acknowledge that you need help. You know, that we talk about that in the group too. You can't do this alone. You weren't meant to do this alone, life alone, kicking sugar alone. We all need support. And as you found out firsthand, as does everyone else who succeeds through this course, it's through the support of the group and all of us ladies, you know, sharing in our stories and hearing our voices, knowing that our voice matters, our stories matter, because they're not alone. They're not isolated. You know, I mean, I
Yeah.
related to so much of your story, and it's so
Mhm.
common. We have so many women who come from, you know, dealing with alcohol to drug addiction to then
Mhm.
shifting it to, okay, now it's sugar. You know, it's like it went from one to another. And that they're realizing that there's still some unsettled issues that they needed to deal with, to dive deep and do the work, to really
Exactly.
kick addiction period altogether. And bravo
Yeah.
to you for doing it, to
Thank
face
you.
all of that. I mean, wow. Thank goodness for Bill. Thank goodness for your own awareness in seeing that, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
your story resonated so much, you know, with me, with the hiding the sugar, and
Mhm.
also putting our spouses or loved ones in that position of being the enabler, and where they're so confused because we're sending them mixed messages. You know, they're damned if
Right.
they do, they're damned if they don't. If they don't go out and run to the store and get us some sugar, it's like, you know, we'll drive them crazy. And it's like, we
Yeah.
are like, you've got to get it. I need it. I can't handle it. It's like, you know, we have a mental breakdown.
Right.
And then when they
Right.
give it to us, it's like, why did you let me eat that? Why did you go get that? You know, and it's like, we're sending these mixed messages, and we're putting our own personal life, you know, responsibility into someone else's hands. And that's not fair. It's not anybody's responsibility to take control of our lives except our own.
Exactly.
And that's what
Yeah.
you did. You finally did it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a happier man for it.
Yeah, no, no, I'm not griping at him or, we're a happier household.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's wonderful. So now you've been on this journey now for 9 months, and
Mhm.
you have gone through, what I love about you is you've done pretty much everything I've put out there.
Yeah.
You've worked this course inside and out. You
Okay.
did the 4-week live intensive where we
Mhm.
really got intense, you know, a group of us women back in October. And then, but what was interesting, you went through that and you didn't declare your day at the end of that. And then you
No.
went through, you decided to join, you know, at the beginning of the new year in January, the 90-day challenge. We are
Mhm.
recording this right now, coming up to our last week, less than a week
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
from finishing the 90-day challenge for all of our challenges out there. And I mean, to see your journey, and in that process, in the 90-day challenge, you declared your sugar freedom. I mean, it's just been truly awesome
Mhm.
to see you embrace through this whole journey, IKS philosophy of progress, not perfection, not feeling like, well, I failed, I didn't complete the IKS live intensive, and I didn't declare my day, so I'm giving up. This doesn't work, this course, and, you know, calling it quits and making one more failing in your life. You owned responsibility. You realized, I just need to dig deeper, and you went in. You learned to face your fears and do the work, which is so
Right.
key. You know, so share with us briefly, you know, your IKS journey, like what all of this has been like for you, and how you feel you navigated through.
Well, I think like even when I first joined the group, you noticed that, there was this lingering and not really saying much, and then some negativity. And then when I really, even at one point, I think I was like, I don't want to listen to that. But then I kept reading posts and kind of lurking. And then I kept saying, you know what? I've tried everything else. This has to work. This is different. This has to work. I like the whole setup. So when I started, I was doing the journaling and, not like really put in my full 100% and just kind of doing stuff. And so I knew, and I almost declared, but I'm glad that I didn't because I knew I was not ready. And it's
Mhm.
okay not to be ready. You don't want to declare when you're not ready because
Correct.
it's just, but you have to still, like, you're not a failure if you
Right.
don't declare when everybody else is, declaring. It's
Right.
not,
This is your journey.
right. It's not a competition. And I think, especially for those that are joining and people are already there, you're in a different place than other people. Don't compete against other people.
Yes.
That's really important. Focus on you and your journey. And then, so I was like, you know, I didn't let that get me down. I was like, nope, I'm going to still like really push at this. And so then when the 90-day challenge, I was like, yes, I am going to do this. And this is going to be it. And it was like a switch flipped for me. I just went all in. I got a new journal, pretty little journal and my pretty pens. And I really, really dove in. I watched the movies over and over and over, the documentaries, that sugar film. I did my journaling every morning and night, and then some. I did those tasks, and there were times, especially in module 5 and module 8, where you really need to sit. I know for me, I had to sit and really, you know, kind of let things soak in and really think about stuff. And that is when things really started to change for me. And I was ready. I was ready on January the 21st. I've been sugar-free, a healthy person. So
it's over a month now, over a month.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. But it's one of those things where you just don't, you see a lot of people saying, I fell off the wagon. And our motto is, there is no wagon.
Yes.
Fall off the wagon.
That's part of that mentality we need to get rid of.
Yeah, there's no wagon. It's just a little swerve in the road, and it just comes back to progress, not perfection.
Yes.
Nobody's perfect. I mean, you even have mentioned that you continue to learn all the time. I continue to learn all the time. And we learn from each other.
It is a practice, like life in general, whether it's sugar or anything that you're trying to learn, to kick sugar, you name it, like getting better at some physical activity or an instrument, anything that you're trying to learn. It is a practice. You don't become, successful at anything or, a guru at it overnight with anything that we do. So why do we think when we go from not knowing anything about our body and health and what sugar does to our brain and body, that overnight we're going to be like this, superhuman healthy person, that can do everything and not feel anything more. We are just automatic creatures with our automatic habits that we learn about in the course. And it's about the conditioning and breaking that conditioning. And that just takes time and working with that ego, that mind that you talked about earlier, that mentality.
The ego.
Yes, that voice that comes into our head, tells us we're not good enough, that we're not pretty, that we don't look good in the mirror, all these things that we have to fight that. And we have to learn to let that go, which is so much of what this program is about, is learning the tools and getting the tools and the tactical information to be able to conquer the mind and recondition yourself with those habits.
Right.
And that just takes time, the switch, like you said, you do all of a sudden have that aha moment where you realize, for real, like, this is it. I am turning over and switching to being a healthy person. I am a healthy person now. But it doesn't mean that you're a perfect healthy person. It's progress. Nobody, even the perfect healthy person that somebody out there is looking to. And I always tell my ladies, don't look to me as that. It's like we have to look to it within ourselves, and we're all just, it's a process every day of perfection and working to realize that it isn't about having something be perfect, right? And that in itself is the perfection, is seeing that finally, that why, so called. So your journey is it's been amazing. And I love that you've done all the different courses, and that it's that process, and you're not alone. There's so many other women, the women who've had the most success with the course and really get this lifestyle, right? They get it. Cause it's just like if you went to the gym, you wouldn't do then, 1 month, workout, program and then quit and think that you're, that you've got your muscles and, you're fit and you got your weight and it's just going to stay that way. So it's about staying, like we always talk about, staying in the conversation. And, it's so great to be in the conversation with other like-minded women who've been where you're at and are where you're going, and that we all have the same language to speak and keep each other in check. So
I don't think I would have been able to do it without the group.
yeah,
The group, I can't stress enough how important the group is,
yeah,
because there's always encouragement and inspiration, and the women are going to lift you up and love on you, whether you've had a bad day or a good day. They're
yes,
going to encourage you. So that I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't everything together. Like, you have wrapped an entire package perfectly together. I know perfect isn't the best word, but it
I
is,
know what you
because
mean.
you need those steps.
Yeah,
Like, you have everything that you need is right there.
right.
It's right there. So everything has helped me, and I'm just a happier person.
Yay.
Yeah.
So this is what I love about you also, that I want everyone watching this to really get to. That, I mean, looking at you, they would never guess what I'm about to tell them all, which is, I mean, since actually, I want everyone to get this, since 2010, you've been disabled due to an injury with your cranial nerve, which comes down your face there on the left side of your face. And after you've been to many doctors, and you've had visits and testing, you were eventually diagnosed with the atypical trigeminal neuralgia. Now, that's
Yep.
also known as, this name is horrible, the suicide disease. And I know they give that name because it is so excruciating, the pain to endure, that people literally have taken their lives from it. They don't want to live
Yeah.
in this type of pain. So what I find, with you is your ability to manage. I mean, looking at you'd never think that you
Yeah.
have good and bad days, but pretty much what I've also learned from you is you're always in pain, that you have to learn, to find your ability to manage and endure and deal with constant physical pain. I mean, that's
Yeah.
utterly courageous.
Thank you.
You really have defied the odds, Lynn, while painfully pushing through countless obstacles by living with this diagnosis. So what I admire so much about you is how you've learned to overcome self-pity. You're not
Yeah.
that person who started in the group like, why am I stuck on sugar? And you certainly
Yeah.
aren't that way with this diagnosis, with the physical pain that you endure. And I'd love for you to share, because we do see this in the group. I mean, you're not alone. Also, we've seen lots, and you've read, lots of women have gone through all different things, from cancer to surgeries, you name it, physical challenges and real hardships and pain also. But we would never know it coming from you. I don't even, in fact, think you ever really talked about it in the group that much. You opened up to me personally about it. So I'd love for you to share, just with everybody briefly, how you do it, how you deal with the pain, because you ain't got sugar anymore to pretend to numb it, because that just makes it worse. In fact, it really
Yes,
does, because sugar
it
is
does.
an inflammatory, and the worst thing that you want, that you could do for that nerve, is to inflame that nerve, and that sugar is going to do that and make it worse for you. So how do you deal with the pain aside from kicking sugar, to keep yourself pushing forward, and keeping that positive attitude and not get stuck in that self-pity party? And I'm not going to lie, I'm sure, because I know I have bad physical days too. We all have that feeling, and we learn also to just to maybe sometimes not resist it, and to kind of lean into the pain, and
Right.
to stop saying I can't control but I can control how I react to the pain. I can control
Yes.
how it's going to allow it to shift and affect my life. And so share
Yeah.
that with us. It's amazing. You're amazing.
Well, thank you. I mean, it took a long time. I had my share of pity parties, especially being a 52-year-old that isn't working.
Woohoo, 52.
Yeah,
I
I
love
know.
the
Woohoo!
50s.
Young 52.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am in constant pain 24/7. It basically feels like a hot fire poker is stabbing me in my cheek, and it just radiates down and it goes up to my eyes. And there's times that I can't talk. There's times that I can't get out of bed. I can't chew. I can't brush my teeth. I can't be out in the wind. So there's a lot of variables there. But I have been part of a support group for facial pain.
Wow.
And what has always stuck with me was a discussion that we had. and even with my doctors around me, is they told me that this is not going to kill you. You are not going to die from this.
Wow.
And so that was very powerful for me, because it made me say, okay, am I going to just dwell in just all of this and just pull a blanket over my head and just lay in bed every day and just let that be? And I just really don't want that. I feel like I still have life to live, and I feel very blessed that I'm alive. I'm alive. I try to get up in the morning and say, okay, it's a new day. I'm alive. And what can I conquer today? What can I do today? And just having that, because it is hard when it's, the suicide disease. And when I was first learning about it, people were actually going and pulling all of their teeth, because they felt like it was their teeth that were the problem, but it wasn't. So they would pull all their teeth, they would get dentures, they would have, and I even had cranial surgery, where they retracted my brain and put a Teflon pad in between my artery and my nerve. And, unfortunately it didn't work. But I feel like I want to be me. I want to be better than my old self. I want to try to encourage others. And I'm a people person. I love people. I love to encourage. And that's kind of my motto is I'm alive. I'm not going to die from this. And let's just face the day. Let's just,
So powerful.
get up and go.
Such a powerful outlook to see and to have that awareness, because there's something about that, not at all the same, but I'm going to say that I thought of that because I wanted to have a childbirth when we gave birth to my son, that was without an epidural. And I knew I was going to be dealing with pain. And that was one of the things, was learning to not be scared of the pain. And part of the fear comes from thinking, oh my God, could I die from this? Like you with this, right there in your face. And that there is something even that reduces the pain. I mean, it's still there, but reduces it to some degree, because when you initiate fear in your body too, then you tense up and you lock up and all your muscles lock up and more chemicals start excreting into your body that then heighten the pain that's already there and make it worse and compound the pain. But when you can relax and not have that fear with the pain, like you were able to let go of the fear, okay, I'm not going to die from this. So how can I lean in and be with the pain and stop resisting it? When you stop resisting it with the fear, it does help subside it a little bit to where it's obviously manageable. And that's powerful. I mean, that's working your mind, girl. That's a mind game. And kudos to you. I'm so
thanks. And I do have to take medicine. I've tried all kinds of different modalities. I do have to take medicine, but that's where I am. But I do, even with the medicine, I still have to try to have the mindset. And I will say, I didn't realize it until doing I Kick Sugar that my diet was absolutely making me worse.
Wow.
They even have talked about in studies how chocolate and certain sweets can really affect trigeminal neuralgia. So it's very interesting.
That is. Thank you for sharing that. I did not realize that. So see, all around, it's a win-win. Kick sugar, people. Get it out of your life.
Yeah, it's toxic.
So that's some good advice. What other advice now, being, now an official ambassador, do you want to give your fellow tribe sisters that are working through these modules that are either just starting off or coming towards the end? What have you got for them?
Well, doing this is the best thing that you'll ever do. It has changed my life and I love it. And I love this group. If you have purchased the audio, kudos. I can't encourage you enough to purchase the course book. This is my course book.
So pretty. Do you have it in a binder there?
I have it in a binder and I put all
Love
my
it.
stuff in it, my little affirmation cards, and
Oh
I
my
have
goodness.
my before pictures in here from when I started way back.
Wow.
So anyway, I put all kinds of stuff and I have this in a binder. Look, you have to have the course book. Yes, you can do it with just the audio, but the course book, you can highlight stuff. You can, stuff will jump out at you. And it's easy because Joyce has it set up for you to where you have the tasks in the back and you make a checklist. And I have seen a lot of people that have done the audio that, well, where's the task? What's the task? What do I do? And this just has it all laid out for you. And I would literally listen to Joyce, which I love her voice. It's very soothing to me. And I would lay, and then I would have my book open and I would follow along and it helped me retain it. And so I encourage you, get the course book. It's really not that much money. It's worth every penny and it really will help you. So I say, let's get the course book. And
I know you mentioned the group, join the group.
Yes, I mean, the journaling, every step is important. The journaling, I know a lot of people say, I don't like journaling. I don't know how to journal. The journaling is a huge part. That's where I found myself. That's where my mindset changed, was in that journal.
Yeah.
So that is highly, highly important. And then the group. I know it can be fearful to kind of step out of your comfort zone in the group, but once you do it, I mean, it is a safe place. I have never been part of a group that is so loving and caring as this group. Mm-hmm. And everybody is just going to lift you up and love you. So don't skip that part, because I don't think without that, I would be where I am. So it all works in a well put together package. Joyce has it laid out for you. It's simple. It's not going to be easy. That's my favorite saying. It's simple, but it's not going to be easy.
Yep.
Just follow her guidance. Follow her lead. Don't change anything. Don't jump ahead. Complete each task. Don't compete with other people. You don't know where they are in their journey. And I can't stress that enough. And, just be present. I'm telling you, you are going to find yourself, and that mindset shift is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And it's an amazing program. I've tried everything.
Oh,
this
works. I love you.
I love you.
I did not pay for that, everybody.
She really didn't. She didn't pay for that. No.
That was fantastic. I mean, I think the biggest thing we could sum up what you were saying, everything, is just to trust the process, right? Like what we tell everyone all the time, just trust it, because what you're going to do initially is resist, right? We resist everything that's uncomfortable and new to us in life. And that should be a sign. Whatever you're resisting that you want to change about, how I tell you to do this and do that, that right there is a sign that you're on the right path, if it's hard and it's challenging or feels uncomfortable, I should say, that lets you know. So I have one final question for you, my dear. Yes. And it is your official question. Do you accept the invitation to be the next official IKS ambassador?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay. I'm so excited.
Congratulations.
I'm so excited.
All right,
Thank
ladies,
you so much.
You heard it. You heard it from her. You heard it from Lynn. She is accepted. It is official. Remember, to all of you out there who just watched our conversation, if you're passionate and committed to building a future for yourself and with IKS brand, and you're ready to take your nutrition and health and happiness to the next level, And if you love helping like Lynn does and all my other ambassadors, serving others in your community, in this community, then you just might be ready to be one of our next ambassadors. So remember, I am always watching. I've got all my other ambassadors watching, telling me, hey, Joyce, you need to look at this person here. You can see Lynn's bio and read all about her story and everything on the IKS Ambassador page, which is on the main IKS website, which is ikicksugar.com. Just look under the About section, down the tabs will be ambassadors. You can view it there. You can see Lynn with her big check. And other than that, we are just wrapping up another little private sesh with our latest ambassador. So welcome and thank you, everybody. Say goodbye to
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye. Thank you. I'll be seeing you in the
guys.
group.